Hey friends, today we're going to be talking about complementary angles. I know we've done a lot of talking last week about different kinds of angles, like the acute, obtuse, and right angles. Today we're going to be talking about when we put more than one angle together and then trying to find some of those missing values of the other angles. And so when we're talking about complementary angles today, we're going to be talking about when two angles come together that they have to add up to 90 degrees. 90 is that magic number with complementary angles. If you think about the right angle, that's that one that looks like a corner or an L, like we've talked about. That's the one that's 90 degrees. And so when we have two angles and they come together and they equal 90 degrees, we say they complement each other. They make that corner angle. And so you know that if you put those two together, it should equal 90 degrees. So we're going to use that information to help us today. I have a couple of problems on here to practice with the complementary angles. Remembering that they add up to 90 degrees when we put the two angles together is the really important thing here. So if we look at this example over here, we see this big angle of QRS, and we can see there are two little angles in there. Here's one, QRT, and there's also TRS. Those are the two little angles we're looking at. Now, this right here is also pretty important to us because it reminds us that that little square there means this is that right angle or that 90-degree angle. That's our hint for us. So if we know the whole entire angle, QRS, is worth 90 degrees, and we know that this piece is worth 50, we can use that to help us find out this missing angle just by subtracting it. And so over here I set it up. This is one of those pretty easy math problems for us almost fifth grade math students. So we could be able to figure this out pretty quickly in our head. If we know the total angle was 90 and this piece was 50, that means that over here where this question mark is, we have only 40 degrees left. So that's how we find those missing angles. You use what you know for the total angle, 90 degrees, and what you know for the piece, and you subtract it out. So let's try another one together. So here's another example. Again, we can see when we look down here in the corner, we can see that square down here. And that tells us that, again, this is that 90-degree angle or a right angle. And when we have that right angle, we know that we can find that missing angle right here by doing that subtraction problem again. And so I have it set up over here for us. The whole thing was 90. We know this piece right here was 65. And so if we do that subtraction problem, again, we're pretty good math thinkers. I'll give you a moment to think on that. You should know that our answer should be 25. This little angle in here would be 25 degrees. One more to look at. So here's one more. We have, again, our big angle right here, BCD, and I see that square is drawn in the corner, and that tells us that, again, this is that right angle, and that means that this is worth 90 degrees. So if we know that the total is 90 degrees, and we already know this piece over here, this angle is 26, we can use our subtraction again to figure out that missing number. So I'll give you a moment to think, make up your best guess, solve it on a separate piece of paper. Our answer should be 64. So with these complementary angles, again, the important part to remember is that they should add up to 90 degrees and make that corner. That's kind of the hint to remember. So hopefully this will help you remember complementary angles. You're going to get a chance to try some of these on your own now.